Now let me show you this very simple kitchen tool. It's a digital kitchen scale that you can use to weigh your scrap yarn. And then I will show you how to calculate approximately how many yards of that yarn you have. Let's open it. Comes in this really nice box. And then it has a box inside that you just open up. It comes in this plastic. It comes with this little tray. I've touched it, so I've turned it on here. Okay, now I've turned it off. This is attached. And then it gives you the instructions. For this scale, the units of measure are grams, ounces, pounds, milliliters, and fluid ounces. It comes with a backlit display right here. Let me turn this on. That's how it comes up, and then it goes to 0, and it's lit up very nicely. It goes off within a minute after you've used it, in case you forget to turn it off. Or you can just click off and it'll go off. And that's this right here, auto shut off. Comes with batteries. Batteries are included. You get 2 AAA batteries. All right, let's turn it on. Comes up as 18.888, and then it'll just go to 0. Okay, at factory, this scale was set to ounces. I actually want it on grams. So how do we change that unit of measurement? We turn it around and there is a button right here. You press that button until you get to the unit of measurement that you like or that you're looking for. The screen's going a little wacky because I have this up in my hands. So it's not going to be accurate measurement. In order to get an accurate measurement, you must have your scale sitting on a hard, level surface. All right, so I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to go to grams. So here it says ounces. I'm pressing the button and there it is at grams. Okay, then I'll put it back down on the flat, hard, level surface and it goes back to 0. So we can start weighing. Now here's a scrap yarn cake that I made from 2 partial cakes of this azalea yarn that comes from Hobby. Now if you have the label for your scrap yarn, awesome. If you don't, I'm going to give you a chart that will show you approximately how many yards you have in your scrap cake. So originally there were 200 grams in one of these cakes. And the yardage is 874 yards. So let's weigh this cake, which is, like I said, 2 partial cakes. Let's just weigh it. So let's turn this on. I'm on a flat, level, hard surface. So I'm going to gently put this on the scale. And it shows me that there are 195 grams in this cake. So originally, we'll look at that again, there were 200 grams in this cake. So I had about half of 2 of these cakes that I put together into one, and it's only 5 grams lighter. So that means, that's easy to figure out, that means I have approximately 874 yards, just like it says on this label from the original cake. Now just for interest's sake, let's weigh the actual label. What does the label weigh? My, oh my, it says 2 grams. Now, what if you have a yarn cake like this? That's a whole bunch of different yarns that you've made into your own unique colorway. What if you don't have the label? What if you have no idea what kind of yarn this is other than it looks like 4 weights? There might be a little bit of 3 weight in there, but it's mostly 4 weight. So how do we measure? Well, first of all, we're going to weigh, and then we're going to calculate how many yards roughly are in this cake. Okay, let's turn our scale on, wait till it goes to 0. It's at 0. So let's see how much this weighs. So this is telling me it weighs 222 grams. Okay, you see a chart in front of you here. I made up this chart from the yarn that I have here. I took a look at the different weights that I have and calculated by the labels how many yards are in 100 grams of each of these. Some of these came in 150 gram balls, etc. So I just calculated how much was in 100 grams of each of these. Now these are approximate lengths because the amount of yardage you're going to have in a yarn is different based on how the yarn was spun and also the fiber content of the yarn. For example, if you have yarn that's chain spun, now 100 grams of a chain spun yarn is going to have more yardage in it than, say, a yarn that's heavier, that has heavier fibers and also doesn't have that airy chain spun openness in the yarn. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, our scrap yarn cake, 4 weight mostly, weighed 222 grams. Let's see roughly how many yards are in here. All right, so 222 grams. And this is of roughly mostly 4 weight. Okay, so let's look at the 4 weight on the chart. 100 grams is approximately 216 yards, but we have 222 grams. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 216 yards right here, and we're going to divide it by that 100 grams. And the amount we get, that should say 100 grams, the amount we get is 2.16. So what does that mean? That means there are 2.16 yards in 1 gram. So now we're going to take that 2.16 yards, which equals 1 gram, and we're going to multiply it by the 222 grams that we have in this cake. We know that from weighing it. So we have 479.52 yards in this cake. I think maybe we could make a hat and cowl, or maybe a really nice long scarf. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you so very much. Have a wonderful day.